Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. President Bola Tinubu will this Wednesday present to a joint session of the National Assembly the proposed 2024 appropriation bill for consideration and approval. A communication to that effect, read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, indicates that the President will lay the proposed 2024 budget bill by 11 a.m. Meanwhile, President Tinubu is seeking the approval of the Senate for the abridged 2022 to 2024 external borrowing rolling plan of $8.69 billion and 100 million euros. The amounts are to be deployed to address huge infrastructure deficit for the country's development.
I would like to underscore the fact that the projects and programs in the borrowing plan were selected based on positive technical economic evaluations, as well as the expected contribution to the socio-economic development of the country, including employment generation, skills acquisition, support towards the emergence of more entrepreneurs, poverty reduction and food security, to improve the livelihood in all the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory. Considering the huge infrastructural deficit in the country and the enormous financial resources required to fill the gap in funding infrastructure in the face of dwindling financial resources, it has become imperative that we resort to prudent and external borrowing to bridge the financial gap, which would largely be applied to key infrastructure projects, including power, railway, health, among others. Given the nature of these facilities and the need to return the country to normalcy, it has become necessary to request the Senate to consider and approve the 2022 to 2024 external abridged borrowing rolling plan to enable the government deliver its responsibility to Nigerians through expeditious disbursement and efficient project implementation.
Similarly, same message was conveyed to the House of Representatives in writing, saying he would present the 2024 appropriation bill, talking about President Bola Tinubu, to a joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday by 11 o'clock. In 3 separate letters to the House of Representatives, read in plenary by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, the President has also requested the House to approve the federal government's 2022 to 2024 external borrowing rolling plan. The consideration and approval of the loan request by the Green Chamber will enable the federal government to obtain abridged loan facilities of $8.69 billion and 100 million euros from the African Development Bank and the World Bank. The loans, the President said, will be used to finance projects and programs across critical sectors of the economy.
Infrastructure deficit in the country and the enormous financial resources required to fill the gap in funding infrastructure in the face of dwindling financial resources, it has become imperative that we resort to prudent external borrowing to bridge the financial gap, which will largely be applied to key infrastructure projects, including power, railway, health, among others. Given the nature of these facilities and the need to return the country to normalcy, it has become necessary to request the House of Representatives to consider and approve the 2022 to 2024 external abridged borrowing plan deliver its responsibilities to Nigerians through expeditious disbursement and efficient project implementation.
National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikpen reports that the House has passed for second reading an executive bill seeking the issuance of 61.5 billion naira from the Federal Capital Territory Administration's statutory revenue fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account. Now, this follows President Tinubu's request for supplementary appropriation to the 2023 Statutory Appropriation Act of the Federal Capital Territory Administration for execution of critical projects. President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday depart Abuja for Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to attend the COP28 Climate Summit, also known as the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, says the World Leaders Summit, which will take place on December 1st and 2nd, 2023, under the theme Unite, Act and Deliver, adding that the President would deliver Nigeria's stance on various thematic issues, including renewable energy and climate financing. While in Dubai, the President will also focus on holding businesses and institutions accountable, reflecting Nigeria's dedication to sustainable and responsible practices with active participation in key sideline events. The federal government says improving health situation is a priority of the present administration, as 8,000 primary health centers across the country are to be totally upgraded. Minister of Health, Dr. Mohammed Ali Pate, stated this during his appearance before the Senate Committee on Health. Let's get details from National Assembly correspondent Amina Saidu.
The interactive session focused on medical research development and the need to provide state-of-the-art health facilities that will reduce medical tourism. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, announced plans to expand and upgrade the over 8,000 primary health centers through direct financing.
We are revamping the guidelines for training of frontline health workers, aiming to retrain 120,000 frontline health workers, community health workers, midwives, nurses, so that they are equipped with the standing orders, with the right skills and competences to deliver high-quality services in the front lines. That will improve the outcomes.
Chairman Senate Committee on Health, Dr. Ipalipo Hari Banigo, gave assurance of the National Assembly's support in addressing areas of need in the sector through legislation.
The National Health Act of 2014 provides a legislative backup for advancing effective health sector intervention. The Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, established by the Act, is currently being used to improve the capacity of health facilities to deliver health services. However, the insufficiency of the fund means that its impact has remained suboptimal.
The committee is expected to embark on oversight visits to some health facilities to ascertain the condition as briefed by the minister. From the National Assembly, Amina Saidu, NTA News.
Issues of security around university campuses and addressing infrastructure decay took center stage as the House of Representatives Committee on University Education engages with key players in the sector. National Assembly correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
Here are officials of the National Universities Commission and Vice Chancellors to brief the committee on situation on ground. The Universities Commission described Nigeria as a country with the fastest growing university landscape in Africa, with 270 federal universities now. However, challenges from inadequate funding, need for improved curriculum, quality assurance, among others, are areas require prompt action.
We want to do things right. We want to do our best for university education. We are ready to go out of our way to source for funds. We know what you are into. Lack of funds is one of the major challenges of the education sector.
We are not just here to appropriate or just oversight. We want to know your problems, your challenges, and better ways of doing things to serve you better.
Other issues of concern raised by stakeholders that could be surmounted are admission racketeering, infrastructure decay, and insecurity at the tertiary institutions.
If you look at the 270 universities put together, sir, only 500,000 or 700,000 can be accommodated out of the 2 million kids that apply for university education.
The committee is expected to visit each university to ascertain their budget after presentation of the 2024 appropriation bill. From the National Assembly, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Gender Mobile Initiative, a non-governmental organization on gender-based violence, has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to hasten assent on sexual harassment bill in tertiary institutions. This was at a media briefing in the wake of a global reawakening against sexual harassment faced by female students in tertiary institutions from lecturers who sometimes engage in sex for grades adventure. While applauding the president for signing into law the student loan bill, the organization believes the effectiveness of such effort can be counterproductive if learning environment remains tainted by a pervasive issue of sexual harassment.
The president's commitment to education, as demonstrated by the student loan bill, must extend to creating an environment where students, particularly female students, have healthy, safe, inclusive, and equitable access to education.
A survey in 2018 showed 70% of female graduates from Nigerian tertiary institutions have been subjected to sexual harassment, an epidemic proportion indicative of systematic and structural deficits. From the aviation scene, the issue of Air Nigeria has come to the limelight again, with the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Festus Keyamo, clarifying that the fate of the national carrier would depend on the decision of President Bola Tinubu after his consideration of the report on the contract with Ethiopian Air. Fielding questions from State House correspondents, Keyamo revealed that there are issues that requires clarifications and final decision of the president before the commencement of operations or otherwise. The minister said in reaction to the concerns raised by Nigerians and the National Assembly, his ministry has conducted a thorough investigation and found out some questionable clauses in the agreement.
All the documents, all the reports, everything we have forwarded to Mr. President. The issues we met on the ground. But just to say that it would have been irresponsible of me as minister to take over office, and I feel the pulse of Nigerians. I feel even the National Assembly raised concerns over that, and so many stakeholders. It would have been irresponsible to close my eyes totally to those concerns. So because of that, we suspended it to say, let's just look at all the issues and recommend. Now we have looked at all the issues, and it's before Mr. President. But let me just give one or two snippets because of Nigerians who are, who are quick to judge. In the agreement, you are giving tax waivers to Ethiopian Airline coming into Nigeria. They asked for tax waivers for 5 years, and you granted them to come and compete with your local airlines who are paying those heavy taxes. How? You want to create a monopoly. That's why when they tell you that, we want to crash price by 70%, it's a lie. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because they have removed all taxes from you, and you granted them to the tax waivers. And initially, they will crash prices. Once you drive every other person out of the market, you now have a monopoly that you can hike it 500%. Nobody there to challenge you. The only thing that brings down prices in the commercial world is competition. It's fair competition. In the agreement, they also made a proposal that they will appoint everybody, top management, everybody Ethiopian in Nigeria. And we agreed. We agreed.
Right, let's look at another salient issue. With the year gradually coming to an end, the urge for quick wealth as usual, becomes intense. Now, this disposition, which could be termed as the fast lane syndrome, is not only visible in the volume of road traffic crashes, but more pronounced in smuggling activities. To support this fact, Federal Operations Unit, Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service said out of the more than 92,000 bags of foreign rice intercepted in 2022, larger percent were seized between the month of September and December. Although an unusual trend, but a norm, which is guiding the customs to strengthen surveillance, especially as the festivity is around the corner. Our correspondent, Michael Olale, in this report looks at ways of nipping smuggling in the bud towards the end of the year.
Due to the coastal nature of Lagos, the creeks and river banks down to Badagry serve as transit corridor for smuggled goods before being ferried to the hinterland. As an interventionist covering 5 states in the southwest zone, the Federal Operations Unit Zone A is aware of the tactics, as is in seizure like the 394 cartons of codeine in Ijebu clearly explained this.
The misuse and the illicit distribution of codeine-containing medications have given rise to grave security and public health concerns, contributing to a surge in addiction, adverse health effects, and societal challenges.
The challenge for the customs as the year winds down is not only identifying the products of interest, but closing down on illegal entry points and warehouses for stockpiling smuggled goods, as close to 7,000 bags of foreign rice were intercepted in August, with 381 added to this figure in September. Illicit substances like cannabis sativa add to the list, as the Federal Operations Unit Zone reported a
investigation and officially charge the suspects to court for proper prosecution.
In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
And to expand the discuss further, we join our correspondent Joel Popola to speak to us right now. He's standing by in Lagos there. Joel, good to see you, by the way. Now, we're aware from the reports we just saw by Michael of the efforts ongoing to curb the activities of smugglers in the country. But what plans are in place going by your findings? Can you share with us the plans to reduce these activities, especially during this time?
Thank you, Ruth. No doubt Nigeria's economic losses due to smuggling cannot be overemphasized. Indeed, it is unquantifiable. And at this period of the Ember month, smuggling activities seems to be on the increase during the Ember month. Now, in the month of October alone, the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service intercepted contraband worth more than 1.3 billion naira in its operation. Now, to speak to this issue is the Acting Controller, Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service, Hussein Ejibuno. Thank you very much, sir. Tell us, smuggling activities, especially for certain items, seems to be on the increase at this period of the year. What is being done to address this ugly narrative?
Thank you. The unit is up at it again. The Ember month is already known as a season for smuggling of rice, especially rice, second-hand tires, used clothing, and we have already started by making sure that we intensify our patrols right throughout the southwest zone, right from Owode Akpa in Seme, up to Idiroko, up to Ojaodon, up to Shaki, Imeko axis, including Agbaruru Igbojayi. We have already made and map out areas where we considered as flashpoints, and those flashpoints are being regularly monitored with proper surveillance, with intelligence from the customs headquarters.
Now, rice is a major staple food in Nigeria, and of course, it is not part of the prohibited items that cannot access forests. Rice can access foreign exchange. Why is it still being smuggled, and What are you doing to address this?
Rice through the land border, the ban still subsists. However, access to forex for rice, it has to come with license. And whoever imports rice right now through unapproved routes will be intercepted, arrested, and prosecuted.
Tell us about your efforts in anti-smuggling, especially in the creeks. What are you doing in this area? What are you doing to surmount smuggling in this route?
Oh, we are striving hard to ensure that whatever that comes on water, definitely it will end on land. We have mapped out strategies, all our creeks, especially the creeks at within Lagos. Okay. Creeks within Lagos, creeks around Ere, because Ere is an important flashpoint. So we are mapping our strategies. We will allow them to come. They will come on land and we will intercept them. The other day we intercepted a 2-truck load of Indian hemp coming from creeks from Abuja.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. No doubt to address the menace of smuggling, it requires a collaborative effort of all relevant stakeholders. It is that does it from here. It is back to you, Ruth Agwele in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Joel, for that update. Of course, we want to see that our borders are secured with efforts ongoing. We hope that is the case. All right, let's head to Lagos again, this time around, not outside, but in the studio as we join Hingino. She'll be bringing us the next set of reports. Okay, before we get back to Lagos, let's take a report. Minister of State Petroleum Resources Gas, Ekperikbe Ekpo, has reiterated Nigeria's commitment to the speedy completion of the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline. He re-echoed the commitment during an interface with the Moroccan ambassador to Nigeria, Moha Ali Tagma, in Abuja. Lydia Sampson will tell us more about that.
The Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline was proposed in December 2016. Agreement between the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Moroccan Office National Board of Hydrocarbons and Mines. The pipeline, on completion, will connect Nigeria's gas to every coastal country in West Africa, talking about Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, Senegal, and Mauritania, ending at Tangiers, Morocco, and Spain. It is apparently an extension of the existing West African gas pipeline, which already connects Nigeria with Benin, Togo, and Ghana. This interface is to further deepen bilateral cooperation and also navigate ongoing process for speedy implementation.
It is a good thing that you have come to show commitment to this collaboration. And I can assure you, whatsoever is needed from the Office of the Honorable Minister of State Petroleum Resources Gas, will provide those necessary engagement, necessary support and collaboration so that we succeed.
The objective of this project is not to transport gas only, but also to be projects to develop and to offer some opportunities for the development of all these countries between Nigeria and Morocco.
Upon completion, the gas pipeline will be the world's longest offshore pipeline and second longest pipeline. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
How much do you know about Nigeria? Well, while you ponder on that question, let me inform you that you can certainly find out more fascinating facts in Nigeria visualized. It is a book compiled by the United Nations that contains data visualization of Nigeria. This compendium has been formally launched in Abuja, we hear, by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu. Moplank Dakok will tell us about it.
Nigeria, a beautiful and highly diverse country, has so many stories to tell with intriguing figures and pictures. It is in an effort to tell these stories and trail the changes that have occurred over the years that the UNDP, in collaboration with the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning and the National Bureau of Statistics, put together a visualization of selected data to offer the reader a comprehensive and insightful journey of Nigeria.
Today, we embark on a journey to witness the power of data, advanced data visualization to reshape and sharpen our understanding of Nigeria's dynamic transformation.
This novel addition to what will no doubt give more access and information about Nigeria, especially for a generation on the go.
With over 40 data visualizations, the Nigeria Visualized Web Platform is a beacon of progress.
This initiative harnesses the power of advanced data visualization techniques to unravel the narrative of our nation's journey over time.
Information in the book, which is also on the web, include population, land size, and trending topics in Nigeria, among others. In Abuja, Muplang, Dakok. NTA News.
Now you know. All right, we're set to join Hingino in Lagos for more reports. Hingino.
Thank you, Ruth. His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, Oba Eware II, has called on Nigerians to embrace peace and patiently support President Bola Tinubu's quest to achieve a better and greater Nigeria. The first-class traditional ruler made the call when he paid a courtesy visit on the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu at the State House in Marina. Ese Onwamaka reports.
His Royal Majesty Oba Eware II, accompanied on the visit by palace chiefs, congratulated Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on his re-election and his government's giant strides in Lagos State. While urging Nigerians to be patriotic and maintain peaceful coexistence, the Royal Father says if given the needed support, the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu will deliver the dividends of democracy and achieve sustainable development in the country.
We don't like controversy. We like peace, tranquility. We're all one. We're all together. We are all Nigerians. And that's why it's important for Nigerians to know that diversity is important, is very, very good for Nigeria.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu expressed gratitude for the Royal Father's visit, assuring that Lagos State would continue to be home to all, irrespective of ethnic, religious, or political affiliations.
We are beginning to see some of his interventions. Just last week, we saw another quarter of GDP growth in the country, right? Where the GDP growth has improved from what it was the last 1 and 2 quarters. The third quarter looks very, very well, but we said to him that he still has to do a lot more. So we're believing that with him at the helm of affairs, and like you said, sir, he has clear sight to govern well, and I will believe that he will do a good job.
Oba Eware II was later conducted on a tour of the State's Museum. In Lagos, Ese Owamaka, NT News.
Checking the surge of gender-based violence through orientation, legislation and enforcement has been a subject of discussion for a while now. Bolaji Akim in this report takes a look at effects of gender-based violence.
18 National Demographic Health Survey shows that 33% of women between 15 to 49 years had experienced physical violence. The figure is on the increase, thereby making gender-based violence one of the most prevalent human rights violations globally. Those stories of gender-based violence are more prevalent among women. Some men also fall victims.
It's not a situation where the male person or the man is always attacking or beating up or causing harm on the female person, because that is the thing that people always think of. That is always the man that is always beating up the woman. We've seen incidences where a woman will beat up a man.
Gender-based violence comes with physical and emotional trauma, and in some cases, death. What are the factors fueling gender-based violence, especially among couples?
Is ego. If somebody is not submissive, it's very, very difficult for him or her to learn or to hear the advice of the other. So women are not always submissive. Some women, let me put it that way, some are not submissive.
When you are cutting, you see the signs, the aggressiveness, the violence. When they see these signs, irrespective of probably because of desperation or because of they want to belong, they want to be married, they see all these red flags and they still go ahead.
Human rights activists believe that for increase in cases of gender-based violence to be addressed, that society, religious leaders, security operatives, and government at all levels must intensify sensitization as well as encourage peaceful separation method among warring couples rather than violence, which may lead to physical deformity or loss of life. In Lagos, Bolaji Aki, NTA News.
That's it from here. Nationwide will continue in Makurdi after this break.
To Makurdi. The Commander Corps of Engineers First Quarter Conference has opened in Makurdi, Benue State, with a charge on participants to redouble efforts in capacity development and accomplishing assigned missions. Blessing Omeche Ibute reports that the event was held at the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineering, NASME, Makurdi.
The quarterly conference of the Commander Corps of Engineers is part of activities lined up for the rolling out ceremony of some retired SAPA generals. Commander Corps of Engineers Major General Philip Eromosele disclosed that the conference is also to review and appraise activities and policies of the Nigerian Army Engineers. The commander adds that the conference is different from previous ones as it will include an inter-formation competition to assess the combat proficiency of troops in areas such as field defenses, watermanship, bridging, weapon handling, cross-country, and obstacle crossing.
This is in line with my vision, which is to develop the capacity of Nigerian engineers for robust support to the Nigerian Army in accomplishing assigned missions.
The conference broke into a technical session where resource persons lectured on topics such as human capacity development in the Nigerian Army Engineering for enhanced operational efficiency, emotional intelligence, strategic leadership in focus, among others. The conference will climax on Thursday, 30th November 2023 with a rolling out ceremony. In Makurdi, Blessing Omeche Ibute, NTA News.
As a way of ensuring credible and verifiable information dissemination to the public, the Conference of Benue Journalists based in Abuja recently inspected some projects executed by the state governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, and expressed satisfaction with his achievements within few months in office. Elias Itiab reports.
The projects inspected by the team include the 100 buses procured by the state to cushion the effect of subsidy removal, the renovated Akrisa office complex, the ongoing rehabilitation work at the assembly complex, as well as that of the state secretariat. Others are the Muhammadu Buhari's Mother and Child Hospital, the Benue Links Park premises, BSU ICT unit, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, BSU Teaching Hospital Radiology unit, and the ongoing 16 roads and streets being constructed by the present administration.
I'm highly impressed, given the very short period that the administration has taken over. That was in less than 6 months. So if such a thing has happened within just less than 6 months, then it means much more is coming.
We can say is the governor is set out to get the state working, and in terms of infrastructure, it's top-notch as captured in his policy document.
You have seen it for yourselves and you are recording it. After here, you are going to display it so that people outside there also will see.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, who appreciated the group for embarking on a fact-finding mission, urged them to stand by the state in promoting projecting and dispelling falsehood.
Because we are for real and we have come to work. You cannot be a bad salesman for your own product. This is why I'm pleased for your visit.
Next, the investiture of the governor as the grand patron of the Conference of Benue Journalists as a mark of recognition of his achievements. In Makudi, Elias, ATF, NTA News.
And that's our package from Makudi. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Susan. The High Court of the Federal Capital Territory has adjourned the trial of the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to January 18, 2024 for continuation of trial. Godwin Emefiele is standing trial on a 6-count charge bordering on fraud preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Due to his inability to perfect his bail, the former CBN governor will remain in the correctional center for failing to meet the 300 million naira bail condition. Emefiele's counsel, Matthew Bukar, SAN, had secured the application for his bail earlier. Emefiele is standing trial before Justice Hamza Muazu. More people are being captured to enjoy the Basic Health Care Provision Fund in Yobe State, as additional 10,000 vulnerable children under 5 and pregnant women are registered under the scheme in Gaidam and Gulani local government areas, 2 worst areas hit by the insurgency in the state. Adam Yusuf reports.
The idea behind registering 10,000 people to access healthcare services with ease is the key into United Nations agenda of attaining universal healthcare coverage under the Sustainable Development Goals. Target beneficiaries of the scheme in Yobe State are vulnerable groups in the communities. 75-years-old Fatima Isa and 80-years-old Malam Audu are among the enrollees in the scheme in Gaidam, one of the areas ravaged by Boko Haram insurgency. They are part of those identified to enjoy the free healthcare program, with Gulani local government being the other benefited local government area. Yobe State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, in collaboration with UNICEF, has so far registered more than 50,000 beneficiaries under the federal government Basic Care Provision Fund, while 86,000 others of the contributory healthcare system enjoyed referral cases with services under the formal sector program of the agency.
The agency has some vulnerable programs vis-a-vis the state equity or Buni tax Buni equity program, the Basic Care Provision Fund program, and the Basic Care Provision and the UNICEF program and the BMGF program. All these programs are programs for the vulnerable.
This is coming in the light of massive rehabilitation, upgrade, renovation, and construction of primary healthcare centers across the 178 political wards in the state. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf, NTA News.
Right, following the disruption of health services in Yobe State, we've seen efforts from that report. We want to expand the discourse as we connect to our correspondent live from Yobe, Yunusa, who is standing by to give us, situation report on how the Yobe State government is changing the narrative with the provision of remedy situations. Yunusa, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Damaturu. We are live from the headquarters of Yobe State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, popularly known as YOTMA, an agency established by Yobe State government by Law Number 7 in 2019, with its mission to fast-track the attainment of universal health coverage, reduce out-of-pocket syndrome, and of course promote efficiency, equality, and effectiveness in the health service delivery. Recently, the agency, in collaboration with UNICEF, commences the enrollment of vulnerable persons, most especially in insurgency-affected communities, to begin to enjoy free healthcare services, as you have watched on that report. Well, to discuss these and many other issues, joining me is the Executive Secretary, Yobe State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, Dr. Tijani. Doctor, thank you very much for joining us on this Nationwide. Thank you very much. Okay, from the background report, one is made to understand that your agency and UNICEF have, are collaborating to enroll vulnerable persons in insurgency-affected communities. So tell us more about this partnership.
All right, thank you very much. Just the UNICEF Contributor Care Management Agency recently got support from UNICEF to enroll 10,000 beneficiaries in the zero-dose LGS of Gulani and Gaidam. And this is to complement other vulnerable programs in the agency, vis-a-vis the state equity program for the vulnerable society, tax Buni equity program approved by His Excellency the Executive Governor of River State. And of course the Basic Care Provision Fund program, which is a federal government social intervention program. So all these programs in the agency, including the performance grant the agency got from Billiard, I guess, to enroll additional 2,500 beneficiaries under the schemes vulnerable program. So the agency has since gone ahead and enrolled the 10,000 beneficiaries to 20 doses of LGS supported by UNICEF and local government.
Okay, briefly, what are the criteria of selecting the beneficiaries? Briefly.
You know, in all these communities, they will have a community structure under the leadership of the Bulamas and the Mice and the Angwas of the affected community, including the Blue GC and the OIC in charge of that particular facility, headed by the Director of Primary Healthcare of the affected area, and identify those vulnerable in the society, especially less than under 5 pregnant women and also the poorest of the poor in the community.
Okay, thank you very much. You heard it all from the Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, Yotuma, Dr. Babagana Tujani. As the saying goes, a healthy society is a wealthy society, and every life matters. It's back to you, Ruth, with the continuation of News Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Eunice. You just nailed it on the head. Thank you. Stakeholders at the meeting of the All Progressives Congress in Enugu State have resolved to remain focused and committed to make a difference in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Blessing Anyanwu reports.
The meeting, which is aimed at addressing the socio-political well-being of the party, also afforded members opportunity to rub minds and re-strategize for the tasks ahead. State chairman of the party read out the 8-point communique raised at the end of the meeting. The stakeholders passed a vote of confidence on President Bola Tinubu's policy initiatives.
The stakeholders appealed to Nigerians to exercise pressures and cooperate with the administration to turn around the situation for the betterment of the country.
APC Enugu stakeholders expressed displeasure over the appointment of Ben Woye as a staff in the National Secretariat and the recent local government election timetable released by the state electoral umpire, among other issues.
We reject Alhaji Ali Balori's lame defense that the appointment of Ben Woye as a personal staff is personal. We reject it on the grounds that APC is not the personal estate of Alhaji Ali Balori.
In attendance are party stalwarts from the 260 wards of Enugu, including state and national officers of the party in Enugu. Blessing Anyanwu, NTA News.
Right, we head to Kaduna now to join Salamatu. She has our next set of reports.
Ruth, and a warm welcome. Unemployed youth in Kaduna State will soon smile as the state government is making efforts towards training more than 1,600 youths on different skills. Governor Obasani, who stated this at the flagging off of the construction of Modern Skills Acquisition Center, said the move is to make the youth productive members of the society. Muhammad Umarajingi reports.
The Kaduna State Vocational and Technology Skill Acquisition City is a digital skill project expected to offer Microsoft Cisco International Certificate in welding, aluminum fabrication, solar power installation, among others.
Our assessment further revealed that jobs that ordinarily should have been handled by our people in different business concerns in Kaduna State are given to foreign workers because of our skill deficit. The establishment of the Kaduna State Vocational and Technology Skill City is therefore our administration's response to the urgent need to reskill and upskill our citizens to handle technical and technological tasks in important and strategic business concerns.
After flagging off the mega skill acquisition center at Rugachikun, the governor proceeded to other local government areas of Makarfi and Kudan to unveil the construction of rural roads, as well as repairs and installation of new transformers in the villages for constant power supply.
The state government will try as much as possible to give them all the necessary support. We are embarked on clearing about 20,000 hectares where the farmers will use.
The governor says the state government will continue to invest in the rural areas and support the farmers with funds to engage in commercial farming. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Murajingi, NTA News.
The role of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in national peace and stability as the reliable medium for information dissemination has again been emphasized. This was during an interaction between management of NTA Kaduna Network Center and the managing director, CEO of the renowned broadcast outfit, New Age Network, Alhaji Ibrahim Buba. Haruna Muhammad reports that the zonal director, Saudat Suleiman, led the NTA Kaduna team for the visit.
Welcome to New Age Network.
It was homecoming as management of Nigerian Television Authority, Kaduna Network Center arrived at the operational headquarters of New Age Network.
Hello, how are you? Please sit down.
Amidst pleasantry, they settled for the business of the day. The zonal director, Nigerian Television Authority, Kaduna Network Center, Saudat Suleiman says, as active members of the industry, it is necessary for a harmonious working relationship and partnership in line with their mandate of information dissemination.
Here just to reaffirm our support and to extend our hands of friendship. We still hope and pray that New Age and NTA Kaduna will continue to, the relationship will continue to work stronger and stronger.
Alhaji Ibrahim Buba describes NTA as a credible and reliable television broadcast organization.
NTA has been so lucky because we have had a system all these years that new ones come in, they are put through. It doesn't matter, you could be a medical doctor, you could be anything. Once you come into the system, we're able to take you through and you are able to become a very good television broadcaster.
The zonal NTA management team were led through various workstations at the New Age Network headquarters in Kaduna. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
And that report concludes our package from here. Ruth Awele will be right back shortly after this timeout. Please stay tuned. After this timeout.
Welcome back. Every domain and circumstance has inherent advantages. So build synergy with host communities and relevant agents of development to upgrade services in every directorate, zonal and state stations to the level of modern broadcasting. Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, implores management staff of the authority at the Day 2 of NTA 2023 Management Conference and Retreat. Joseph Otsen reports.
The day of this year's NTA Management Conference had intensive interactions with media experts on strategies that will sustain NTA on top of the media space. On Day 2, top ranks of the organization search deep to appraise self. Much successes are recorded with upgrading of production facilities to high definition, provision of modern equipment, and training resulting to improved output. But the Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, wants the substations to up their games and replicate same.
Of the establishment of those stations in those states and also at the senatorial levels will be defeated because they need to be communicated in a language that they will understand. They need to also participate as stakeholders.
The take-home is to feel the pulse of host communities.
Am I not listening enough?
Am I probably listening too much? So those are part of the things I think we're going to look into.
Katsina is one of the leading centers of this banditry as a result of drug abuse, unemployment, lack of proper moral upbringing and rest. Therefore, our focus will now serve as a program to educate the youth.
We must have a strong presence online so that especially we carry the youth along.
We must continue to provide very good platform for Nigerians to give the government feedback.
The 2023 NTA Management Conference rounds up with a communique to serve as a template for 1 year. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Well, NTA is poised to bring you the best of programming and news. And thank you for choosing NTA. Thank you for being part of the news. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.